morning, and welcome to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 167. No, we're not doing that. We are talking about college football today. The rivalry weekend was there any upsets? Didn't honestly go the way I thought it would. But then we move on to the NFL as we had football on Thursday, football on Friday, football on Sunday. We got football on Monday. So we'll talk about our biggest recaps in those games. And then we have to finish with Tim's best bets. Did he go 4-0 this week? We'll find out the results of that. So let's get it started.
Yeah. I was going to do a vertical jump there. Thank you, Socks.
Travel been to Indiana, and did Cover 2 Cook get you a good hotel?
Indiana? No, I'm in Louisiana. I'm here for Mardi Gras.
I know that this might be hard, but I don't know how much you remember Friday night since we left you damn near when you fell asleep.
I got my belly full, man. I was like, I warm covers and warm. I was like, I could go to sleep right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Dorsey.
Final answer?
Yes. All right.
This is going to be a long fucking day.
Welcome back to Cover 2 Cook. We're on episode 167. I'm here with Anthony and Tim, and it has been a cold weekend, but with rivalry week ending up here, we had a couple of good games, not too many upsets, which hurt me. I was always picking the underdog there. But I'm curious, Tim, what were your two big takeaways here?
The first game Friday night, Texas A&M and Texas. For Texas A&M, their defense was giving up way too many explosive plays, both in the air and the ground. They couldn't contain Wisner. He had a 100-yard rushing game. And that one that arched through to that Ryan Wingo in the end zone, that was a dime. They just can't. Their defense, and then on offense, they got to depend on the big play. He cannot throw out of the pocket. He's got to use his legs, and he's got to do more RPOs. If they don't, and that's what Texas did. They held him in the pocket, and he's not a pocket passer. I'm just saying it. For the next level, you got to be a pocket passer in the NFL. So he's got to get that straightened around. That's for Texas. I mean, they're running attack is when that thing is going with Wisner. Like I said, he had the first 100, but their defense really stepped up, kept him in the pocket. He made bad throws. I think this team is a dangerous team come playoff time. I would not want to play Texas in the playoffs. I think they can make another run this year, maybe at least go to the semifinals.
That would be exciting to see. And this was like the one upset that I picked that I was cheering so loud for Texas for. I was so glad to see them take this one away. But I agree. I think they could be a threat to be, reckoned with. But let's see how the other teams play out. Anthony, what do you think?
I think it's surprising you guys are saying Texas is in. I don't think Texas is in.
No?
I mean, even though with that win, I don't see where you put them. Who you taking out when you got all that? I think the teams played their MOs. Texas said, you are not going to beat us with your offense. Like, their defense is so solid. And they showed it in that game with Marcel Reed getting shut down as well. I think the other side, too, Texas A&M, they just weren't physical. And that's their physicality, is being physical, and they just weren't that. That's why you saw Texas win this game. This game being at Texas, too, definitely helped the whole situation. But, yeah, this didn't help Notre Dame at all with Texas A&M losing because that's a quality loss for them. But, I agree. If Texas gets in, they're scary. But at the same time, I feel like they're so inconsistent. And they're not going to have a home game. Can they play on the road? I just
Anthony, one question for you. How far does Texas A&M fall?
I bet they – well, I saw today they dropped to like 7. So –
Really? I'd say they go to either 8 or 9.
Yeah, well, and honestly, like as a Notre Dame fan, move us back. Just keep us in it, but move us back a little bit.
Right.
But what was Texas ranked in this game? 14 or something?
I think so. Yeah.
So that's a huge quality win for them. So that kind of puts them in, some kind of discussion. Maybe they're in the, 12th seed that.
But the 12th seed is going to be one of the other Power 5, Group of 5 teams, like your Tulane or somebody like, from Conference USA or another conference. So, I mean, yeah, it's going to be who you taking out.
Well, and that's the thing, too. This is going to be the conversation because Notre Dame's going to get blamed for it because Notre Dame gets blamed for everything. But, this is a situation where it needs to be the top 12 teams. That's what it is. Yeah. And honestly, the only team I could see you taking out is maybe Ole Miss because of the news we heard today. I just don't think that's the same team without Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, right.
Okay, Tim, well, take us into your second takeaway from the must-watch games this weekend.
Georgia versus Georgia Tech. This was a neutral site game in Atlanta. For Georgia Tech, their defense stepped up this time, but their offense didn't. And that's the problem. Haynes King got bottled up big time. I mean, they only given up 3.9 yards in the running attack. That's great. They kept Gunnar Stockton down, that running attack, but Haynes King did not. We said before in this game, Haynes King has to have a tremendous game, the game of his life. He didn't, and that Georgia defense is really good. They struggled on third downs, 4 for 11. They had three and outs in the last four. Was looking, they could have been, in for the. Now they've lost 3 of the last 4. Hell, we were talking about them being in an ACC championship. Now they're in a bowl game. Yeah. And for Georgia, Gunnar Stockton, buddy, you've got to play better. That defense is not going to get you very far. I'm telling you that right now. He didn't play well, and they still won. He cost an interception at the beginning of the game. That hurt him. It didn't come back to bite him in the ass, but it could have. But he only has 70 yards passing. He's got to play better. On defense, they're still one of the best in the nation. That defense is really good. They really held down. I think this Ellis Robinson, he's the cornerback. He's a stud. He'll be playing on Sundays. He made one hell of a interception when Georgia Tech was going down the field. I like Georgia, and I think Georgia one of the top 4 teams already before this?
Yeah, they were 4.
They were 4.
3 or 4, yeah.
So they'll probably move up to probably 3, but I don't know. I'm not. He's too up and down. Gunnar Stockton is. He's got to start playing better. Their offense has got to start playing better, or they might be a one and done kind of deal, kind of like Oregon last year.
Yeah, this one was a little disappointing. I was hoping Georgia Tech would put more up of, a competitive fight. But, I mean, as you described, Georgia's defense was on them from the get-go. So it was really hard for their offense to get started. So, I mean, unfortunate news there, but hopefully Georgia keeps it going, that keeps that train rolling. Anthony, what did you think?
Yeah, I think the game that we had, last year where it went into 8 overtimes, we were expecting that kind of game. It wasn't. The offenses just didn't play well. I definitely agree. I think Georgia's defense it's an SEC defense. Physical. It wants to hit. It wants to run. It's got DBs that can run with your wide receivers. I agree on the offensive side where they struggled, but this is just the fact of seeing the ACC play outside of their conference. And that's what shows the chaos in ACC, because they couldn't even – and that score looked a lot closer than what that game actually was. Georgia controlled that game from the start to the end, even though the score looked – was it 16-9? It looked like it was going to come down to the end. Georgia dominated that game, even though the scoreboard didn't show it. But, yeah, this is why Georgia Tech never deserved to get into the playoffs, because this is what would have happened in the playoffs. They would have got rammed.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony, well, you wanted to talk about overall how the college football was going. So please give us the huge takeaway from this weekend.
Yeah, real quick. So this weekend felt like there was going to be a lot of pure chaos in the college football playoffs, but not really. First off, we need to take a moment of silence to the fact that we don't have another full day of college football again. That was your last one. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've enjoyed all these games, because now we have conference championships, and then we're talking about playoffs. Friday, Arizona was the only one to actually pull an upset against Arizona State outside of the Texas and Texas A&M. Saturday, Ohio State beats Michigan in all aspects of the game, but no flags were planted. I did see that Ryan Day went to go shake Sharon Moore's hand and said, "We don't want no problems as long as you don't," because there was a lot of Michigan players standing right on that logo saying, "You ain't going to plant a flag on ours." I ended up no flag being planted. I love that. I love that rivalry. Oklahoma barely escapes LSU. Alabama, same with Auburn. This probably won't affect their playoffs because it is rivalry weekend, but it was a close game. Miami beats Pitt 38-7, but still ain't getting your ass in the playoffs, boys. Sucks to suck. Vanderbilt beats Tennessee and is the king of Tennessee. The question now goes to, why go to Knoxville when you can go to Nashville? I think this is a huge recruiting thing. Virginia and SMU had a chance to make it to the ACC, right? Nope. SMU chokes. So now it will be Virginia and Duke playing in the ACC championship. Yes, we are talking about football, not basketball, as that sounds like a basketball ACC championship. overall, the biggest story from this weekend is Lane Kiffin going to LSU. Marty Smith was at Ole Miss. It looked like every time that they clipped to him, and within 48 hours was at that location. Marty Smith, go spend some time with your family. He wanted to coach the rest of the season. Lane Kiffin did, but the AD said, no, that's not how it works. You can't act like you still care about your players when you're taking another job. This is why the transfer portal is the way the transfer portal is, because coaches were doing it, but players couldn't. No. It's a fair playing field. How will this affect Ole Miss for the college football playoffs? As now, without a head coach, we've seen before the committee penalizing teams for not having a starting quarterback. But not having the head coach that led you to that record feels like something that should be kind of pulled from them, unfortunately. But overall, good weekend. Just didn't live up to the hype, I felt like.
Yeah, well, I definitely say that Lane Kiffin's decision, just he milked that for as long as he could before it actually got released. Like, it was actually quite annoying how much we had to like refresh and see what's out there, and it was quite annoying. It was just like, make up your mind. You already knew what your decision was. Like, he just milked it too long. So honestly, it just has a bad taste in my mouth. But have fun in Baton Rouge. Tim, what was one of the things that Anthony said that you take away from here?
I love the Ole Miss fans booing him while he's getting on the airplane to head to Baton Rouge and cussing at him. You suck. Blah, 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 blah. I love that. That is true fan. I mean, you're going to go right to the airport and boo him and start cussing at him when he's leaving? Oh, I love that. And the second one was the Michigan one. The Michigan players standing on the emblem and they're watching Ohio State fans and players sit up on that wall there and just because they won, they're just having a good time. And they're sitting over there like, you ain't planting a flag here this year, my friend. You will not do it. It's kind of, I don't know, not really cheesy, but sportsmanship. I know, but I did not know too that there's only one way in, one way out of that stadium for the players.
Yes.
They all have got to go in the same tunnel. That's what, hey, you get 100-some thousand people. Get another entrance for them. Come on. Why is it just one spot?
Well,
but anyway, I got the two big takeaways. I didn't think that game was as close as what it was. Clearly, Ohio State is the number one team. There is no ifs, ands, or about it, and I don't know what team out of can beat them. I really don't know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we'll have to see how that rolls out. But I did see the Ohio State Buckeye trace out Ohio.
Cool. That's cool. I thought that was
cool. Love a little tease there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, let's see. What was after all of that? Oh, yeah, the 9:30 game with Notre Dame. Raise your hand if you stayed up all night to watch that.
Nope.
Raise your hand if you stayed up past halftime.
I did say up past halftime.
Halftime. I got the halftime.
Anthony, for watching the majority of this game, how did you think this went?
Yeah, I mean, 9:30 is a tough start. I just looked at the clock all day being like, okay, 7:30, 8:30, took a nap, 9:30 comes around. But Notre Dame got out to a lead, up 21-0, faked a punt, Love scores a touchdown, Price scores a touchdown. Notre Dame would go up 42-3, and I think that's actually when I kind of dozed off because I was like, okay, they're going to win this game. I just wish they would score 100 on them. Ended up winning 49-20. CJ Carr would have 2 touchdowns and no picks. That is a win in my book. If he's scoring touchdowns and no picks, I feel confident with this Notre Dame team. What I'm not confident or don't love is Love getting a little hurt. I know that this sucks, but he'll have plenty of time before the playoffs. Says, guess what? We don't play in a conference championship. And then we'd have a couple weeks off before that. This did actually probably hurt his Heisman candidacy because everyone else did play. Mendoza, Simpson, all of them played where Love didn't really he only had a touchdown in this game. I didn't realize this, though, during the broadcast, that Love and Price are the top 2 backs for this upcoming draft. So if you were selecting a running back this year, the first and 2 are from Notre Dame. Recruits, transfer running backs. Hello. Jardarian Price stepped up a lot in this game, but the takeaway from this game was that Williams, that we'll be talking about next year as a sophomore, or he's a sophomore this year, a junior next year. If he stays, he looked good in this game. Defense looked good. Leonard Moore had another interception. Honestly, I think Freeman said it best. Notre Dame had put everything out there for the college football playoff committee. Yes, we're not playing in a conference championship. No, we're not joining a conference. But we ran the score up on a lot of teams. Our offense scored a lot of points. Our defense got turnovers and contributed to the scoring. I don't know how you don't put them in. I truly don't. And if they lose their first game, it is what it is. I don't think they will, but I think they're a playoff committee team.
Yeah, no, most definitely. They've put all the evidence out there. It's up to everybody else now to see how that plays out. But I agree. There's definitely a chance for them in there. I mean, you kind of can't. It's written in the walls, it feels like. Tim, how do you feel?
Yeah, I love that play, the fake punt.
Yeah.
I mean, that put there after they did that made it what 21-0. You knew right then and there the game was over. I mean, it was over. Stanford's not very good. I think they will be good down the road, but the game was pretty much over. Yeah, Aeneas Williams, he is going to be a stud next year if he's there. And yeah, I think Love got hurt by this. When he got hurt his chance for the Heisman. I'd rather have him for the Heisman or for the playoffs than him win the Heisman. I mean, it made me a little bit nervous because I'm like, you know what? Sit him down.
Yep.
Put Price in. Put Williams in. He doesn't need to play the rest of the game. I think we've got this in hand. Just let him sit down.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're in. I think they're in. What seed they get is really going to determine. I think they stay where they're at 9. I really do.
Well,
I don't think they lose anyone.
We were talking, and we would like them to go to 10. Like, back them out, because I don't want to take Ohio State second round if we win that first round game. Nobody wants Ohio State. Yeah. And the other thing I'll say about Love, too, is when they showed that stat of the touchdowns, rushing touchdowns in a season, and it was Price number 1, Jerome Bettis 2.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Love 1 for 1, Jerome Bettis second, and then Love 3 from last year. Like, that's just how dominant. I think if you're a running back out there, there's no way you look past Notre Dame. They've always have a good offensive line. Now they have a quarterback that can stretch the field, which opens up the run. And you're playing in the college football committee or a college football playoff as the past 2 years.
That's right. That's a good resume.
If they want me to go recruit, I could definitely do it. I feel like that. I would have signed the paper right then and there.
Well, and you'll always be a topic in, everybody's conversations because you are independent and, they are stubborn in that way. So,
Yep.
All right. Well, let's transition into the NFL and let's talk about our fantasy. Tim, how's your fantasy going?
I'm down 30, but I have 5 players still to play, including my quarterback. He's up 30, but he only has the Patriots defense left. So I'm looking pretty good. It says that I got about 80% chance of winning. I'm looking pretty good. I think I could win. I almost have, like I said in the last podcast, I got to win out to make the playoffs. If I go 7-7, I don't know if I make the playoffs.
Good. I'm glad, our last conversation resonated with you, and hopefully that pulls through. Now, Anthony, over to you. Please tell me you have a chance here.
Well, we got a chance.
Okay.
We got a chance because I have a lot of players playing tonight, Sunday night, and Monday. I'm losing by 50 right now. But like I said, I have 4 players still to go. The person I'm playing only has 2 players to go. One's a defense. One's a wide receiver, McLaurin. I don't think is going to do anything against Denver's defense. I'm putting a lot of faith in Denver and New England and the Giants being a high-scoring game because I got Bo Nix going and Cortland Sutton going. Honestly, it was a tough Thursday in the fantasy world as Rashid Rice and Jameis Williams tore my ass up. That's who the person had. I was like, this sucks. I texted you on Thursday being like, I can't catch a break right now. So hopefully we're not going to go 7 in a row. This would be 7. And this is the last place person, so this would put me in last place.
Yeah. So you better pull through. You better pray to those fantasy gods.
And in mine, I'm actually playing the first place person.
Yeah.
So if I can beat him, that shakes. I'm only 2 games back from first place.
Yeah.
But I'm so far back because of my scoring. I don't have the tiebreaker because I don't score a hell of a lot of points.
Yeah.
But that could shake up the first 5. That'll shake up a bunch of people as far as how far they, 5 people. That can help out 5 other people.
Yeah.
Beat them.
Shakes up the tree for sure. All right, Tim, well, take us into your NFL takeaways from this weekend. It was a long week. We started back on Thursday, so let's go through it.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to talk mostly on the Thursday. I think the best games this weekend were Thursday and Friday. I really do. First one is Kansas City and Dallas. I know the first game, Detroit and Green Bay, was really good. We're not going to talk about that one, but I want to talk about Kansas City, Dallas. Kansas City, that offense went cold. After starting back-to-back drives, have a scoring drive, they had 4 consecutive drives, nothing. Didn't go anywhere in the second and third quarter. And they even got crossed midfield. Another thing, too many penalties, man. Too many penalties. 10 penalties for 119 yards, including multiple holds and a big PI. The loss pushed the Chiefs back to 6-6. They are in trouble as far as making the playoffs because that would ruin their streak of 10 years, which I didn't know that. 10 years in a row, they've made the playoffs. For Dallas, Dak Prescott looked really good. That offense looked really – let me say this again. Dak Prescott outdueled Patrick Mahomes.
Yep.
I'll say that again since if anybody didn't hear that. Dak Prescott outdueled Patrick Mahomes. Dak's numbers 27-39, 320, two touchdowns, 1 interception, no sacks. This is a must-win for Dallas. Their defense has stood up to Mahomes. He had to get out of the pocket quite a bit. I still think they have a shot at winning the division. I really do. After which we will talk about in my second one, after the Eagles' loss, I think they're only a game or 2 back from them, and they have a split on that big win a couple weeks ago. That's big for them. I still think they can win the division and even make a playoffs.
Yeah.
The only bad deal is you're only going to get one other team because I think the West is going to get 3 teams. But the big true test is going to be Thursday night. They go to Detroit.
Yep.
We're going to see how good Dallas is.
Yeah, it's definitely been interesting because I'm hearing them more and more in conversations of their contenders, their potentials of this and that and the other. So it's definitely been, a change of pace. We'll see if they can hold on to it or if this is just
that defense. Yes, and that defense is coming around. That Quinn Williams that they picked up in that trade, that's huge. Yeah. He's been playing really good this last couple of weeks. Their defense is starting to come around. You knew their offense was good. It's now the defense. If they can get anything kind of resemblance of a defense, they're going to be a tough out if they make the playoffs.
Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, so hold on for a second. You're trying to say Dak Prescott outdueled Patrick Mahomes. You give Patrick Mahomes the same wide receivers in that same offense, Patrick Mahomes looks silly versus that. I just think the GM, what are we doing with the Chiefs? We don't have that wide receiver. And I get it, you got Rasheed Rice and you got the Xavier Worthy, but you just don't have a good possession wide receiver. Someone when it's a second and goal and you got to throw the ball up to someone, you always have to find Travis Kelce for that. Well, Travis Kelce's lost a step in case people haven't been watching. On the other side, I agree with you 100%. I think the Cowboys are contenders. I don't know if they're a hard out. I think they're just a good team playing good ball right now. I think this team will ride or die with George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, and right now are focused. But all it takes is one night out in the casino, and they're benched for a drive again or whatever. I just think the Steelers have to be kicking themselves in the ass for getting rid of Pickens, because when he's motivated, he is a stud. He is actually looking better than CeeDee Lamb is on that team. So, but yeah, good Cowboys win. I just did not expect it. I thought primetime Mahomes would show up, and he did all he could, but not enough.
Well, there was that glare, that 2:33:30 glare from the stadium. I saw him. He was struggling. I can't see.
Fucking Jerry, get some curtains, man. Come on, man.
Honestly, or get the sun visors on the players. That's crazy. All right, Tim, what's your second takeaway from this long weekend?
We're going to talk about a little bit the Bears and Eagles. The Bears are for real. I'm telling you that, right? Let me say that again. I think the Bears are for real. Rushing attack of Swift and Montgomery had 235 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns, but Caleb struggled again. He cannot keep doing this. He had a season low 154 yards, no touchdowns. Buddy, that's not gonna do it. Their defense is keeping you in a lot of games. That defense made crucial plays, including forcing a fumble. The kid Wright on a tush-push attempt. Hey, Eagles, it doesn't work every time. The Bears never trailed in this game, and they dominated the team that was the Super Bowl champs. Great win. This was their 9th win. They are guaranteed to not have a losing record for the first time since 2018.
Yep.
They've struggled. for the Eagles, their offense continue. That offense is hot garbage. I'm telling you. Hurts doesn't know. They only converted 4 out of 12 on third downs. Jalen Hurts is inconsistent. He's thrown behind the receivers. He did finally get A.J. Brown going. He had 10 catches for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns. But in key spots of the game, it's like he's looking around and surveying the field. Just give him the ball. Just get A.J. Dillon or Devontae Smith the ball. Quit looking around. Fans were booing him at halftime, and they rightfully should be. These are the Super Bowl champs, guys. You got to start playing better. The fourth quarter, they were making a run, and they fumbled on that tush push. They need to get things going, or they will be playing on Wild Card Weekend on the road.
See, I feel like the Bears and the Cowboys are like in the same situation where it's like, do I want to believe the hype, or are they really actually something? And we talked about it, separately too, that the Bears have a tough schedule up ahead of them. So if they do keep turning it up, maybe they are the real deal. But like you said, Philadelphia has not been playing well. Like something's missing on that team. So is it just pure luck, or are they actually something? Anthony, what do you think?
Yeah, I think when you say the Cowboys and Bears are the same right there, the Bears have like 2 more wins than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And I will say this too. We talk about how tough this was one of those teams that we said is tough on that schedule, and they look like they handled them from start to finish. I agree with you, Mr. Tim Cook. I think the Bears are for real, and it sucks. It sucks as a Vikings fan to say that. And you're giving Caleb Williams shit while I got a quarterback out there that looks like he's playing from fucking JV squad. But I do agree. I think Caleb Williams has to he has to get better every game, right? Because you can't always depend on your defense. And there's not many games where you're going to rush for 200 and some yards. It just doesn't happen. Also, didn't they spend all this money or all these draft picks on the D-line at the Eagles? How does that happen? What are we doing? Didn't we bring back Zach Braun because of he was so that was the embarrassing part for the Eagles. Yes, the offense has struggled, and we know they have because they're, like you said, they're missing a component. I personally think they're missing the running attack. They had such a good running attack that opened up the pass last year. They can't run the ball the way they did last year, but you can't get out physical out by the Bears. Like, you can't have that. You're the Super Bowl. Everyone's circling you on the schedule. You cannot be out physical than the Chicago Bears. Good win for the Chicago Bears. Definitely, that was a surprise going into Friday. Made probably the best day of football Friday with Texas A&M. But yes, you could have told me the Bears won on Wednesday, and I'd have been like, I don't think so. They ended up winning, and they look good.
Also, too, Anthony, I think Philadelphia's offensive line they're missing pieces out of that deal, and I think that's effective too. I did see a stat that as of right now, Barkley is only rushed for half the yards. He rushed for over 1,300 yards in the 12 games last year. He's got half that this year in 12 games. That's a big component. That's a big deal because that opens a lot of things up. If you can get that running attack going with Barkley, and they just don't. He just looks lost out there. I don't. There's something going on. I don't know. I don't know if that's that offensive line or what it is, but.
Would you even say he's getting as many attempts he did last year? Because I wouldn't say so.
Yeah, he got many attempts.
And he sat out a lot of games in the fourth quarter because they were up. Like, he definitely has attempts. I also think it could be, and nobody wants to talk about it because the Chiefs did it for, 10 years in a row, but playoff fatigue. When you play all the way to the Super Bowl and stuff like that, your season is almost a month and a half longer than everyone else's, so that when it gets over, you don't have the same time. Plus, you got to celebrate. And then before you know it, you're back into training camp. Like, it's a long year, and I think that's what it is. It's mental fatigue.
But then we turn around and we hear the Chiefs have been doing this for 10 years. So it's,
But that's what shows like how good a team is, not just doing it 1 year. Because a lot of teams that win the Super Bowl don't even make it to the playoffs next year.
Yeah.
Right.
And the Chiefs kept making it to the playoffs and kept winning. Or the Patriots, or you just go back in time and look at these teams.
Yeah. Okay, Anthony, well, run us through the rest of how NFL has been doing. I know we're recording on Sunday night, so there's a couple more games to go, but take us through what else happened.
Yeah, I think I have to sneeze, so if I sneeze, get ready for that. But Lions versus Packers was a great start to the Thanksgiving. Every year Thanksgiving, I don't want Bears and Lions. I want Lions and Packers. That game just means more. Packers would win 31-24. Joe Burrow is back, and he let the Ravens know it with 2 touchdowns to finish off Thanksgiving. It was good to see him out there throwing the ball. Just wait till he gets T. Higgins back as well. Jamar Chase looked good. Today was Upset Sunday, as we're recording on Sunday. Texans beat the Colts, and the Colts are on a 2-game losing streak. I believe Daniel Jones is hurt more than he is portraying. He's a fractured fibula. That has to hurt. Also, in retrospect, for the Texans, they are good. They lost some easy games in the beginning of the year, but watch out for them because they're going to make a run now. That defense is stupid good. Panthers would upset the Rams, as the Panthers might be for real. I know Carolina Mike is on there singing that song all the time. It's always on my TikTok. But NFC West is so tight. When the Rams lose and Seahawks and 49ers win, all 3 teams have 9 wins.
Wow.
Like this, we talked about the NFC North all offseason, but the NFC West came to play this year, and I think all 3 teams have a solid chance to make a Super Bowl run. Jets would win on a last-second field goal against the Falcons. I will tell you right now, that ball couldn't have been any different because if he got it up more, it would have dropped before it. If he gets it lower, it doesn't go in. He made that just perfectly in the corner. Aaron Rodgers can't catch a break as he looked hurt against the Bills. I know he even got hurt more in the Bills game and things like that, but he just looked old. It looked real old. While the Bills ran James Cook till the end of the game. Oh, it's like they've been listening to Cover 2 Cook because no shit that works for you guys. James Cook's a stud. I don't know how we're not utilizing him. Good job for the Bills utilizing him. And finally, I couldn't leave this podcast without this. Kevin O'Connell's not a QB whisperer. He's not. I don't want to hear about it. They looked absolutely incredibly horrible today. Just embarrassing. And it was about Sam Darnold coming back. Sam Darnold didn't do shit because the defense worked him. I mean, just absolutely worked them. They put out a JV starting quarterback out there today, and that looked awful. We do still have the Broncos and Commanders on Sunday Night Football, and Giants and Patriots for Monday Night Football. Still a couple good games ahead of us.
I will say I was watching a little bit of the Vikings game, and he threw an interception, and then they fumbled the interception, and then Vikings recovered it, and they panned it over the quarterback, and he's like, I just want to sit down.
And what did I say?
Go sit down.
Do you remember what I said?
What?
Oh, good thing we got the ball back so we could throw another pick. Jesus Christ.
He literally looks like he's baby. He looks like a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God, poor kid. But no, I definitely, on the other spectrum, I agree. Aaron Rodgers had a bloody picked up nose. He got tossed around a bit out there, but then they're comparing him to Favre and Drew Brees and Peyton Manning. It's just like, yeah, okay, we get it. You're one of the best, but you don't look like it anymore. So yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting how it goes out next year and if he continues to play or not. But he's been sacked the most. Let's just remember that.
Yep.
Tim, what did you think about these takeaways?
I think the Carolina victory against the Rams and the weather conditions the way they were, because it was pouring rain when I was watching it, and you could even tell on the TV screen it was kind of going in and out. I thought it was because of my dish, but I think it's just the way it was. Them coming from how can you score from 9 points against the 49ers and come back home against the Rams and he had 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
Today, Bryce Young. It's like they're just up and down, and they're in that. It would be the NFC South.
Yep.
Now Tampa Bay still won. I mean, they're still a game back, but I'm not convinced on that. I'm still not convinced on Tampa Bay. I think the injuries has caught up to them. And the one where what was the other one I was going to say? The Steelers. I thought their Steelers had a pretty good defense. They got ran on today.
Yep.
They gave up the most yards that defense has ever given up, and that is the first time an opponent has rushed for more than 230-some yards at that stadium. And that stadium's been open for 25 years.
Yeah.
So that just tells you that defense got ran on today. That's all they did was run it. That was kind of a sloppy game, I thought.
Yeah.
It was just back and forth. Rodgers had to cut over the bridge of his nose. I mean, he just did. Just go with Rudolph. I mean, until that risk gets – because he can't take a snap under center, so he's got to do everything from the other side. He was handing the ball off really weird. He looks old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and
So,
honestly, I just would give it to their big tight end, man. He just trucks people.
yeah,
Yeah.
yep.
But yeah, overall, good Sunday so far. We still got Sunday night to watch and Monday night. But Tim, why don't you run us through your best bets? How did we do? Did we get to keep our?
Oh, well, we didn't go 4-0. Thank you, Bears. I had the Eagles. And thank you. Hang on one second. Please hold. Thank you, Ohio State. You no good. Michigan, you deserve to lose that one anyway. You're not as good. That Underwood, they went over the office for that anyway. Went 2-2 because the old Fresno State
Yep.
pulled her out, baby, and Green Bay pulled out. So I went 2-2.
Pretty solid weekend, though. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
and if you went 2-2 like that, you're betting on Sunday. You know what I mean? Like, because
Yeah.
you're even money on
Right.
Sunday.
Yep.
All right. Well, that is episode 167 as we recapped the college football and NFL. We'll be back on Wednesday. College football playoffs. We'll talk about the top 25, but we won't have the college football playoff prediction yet, as this one is kind of one of the most important ones. As they said, they're not going to penalize teams for conference championships. And then also, we will be back on Friday where we are talking about that and must-watch games as we just had conference championships and NFL that we'll have to talk about as well. So if you like what we do, follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. We appreciate everyone. Have a great start to your week, and we will see you on Wednesday.